Tatami Galaxy, Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken, freaking Devilman Crybaby. These are all highly innovative and imaginative shows directed by the one and only Masaaki Yuasa. In this one they run weird, in this anime they make an anime, and in this one they talk really fast. So why in the world did Yuasa decide to make an anime about ping pong? You know, that thing that sits down in your basement that all the Chinese people are good at? Well, I'll tell you why, because this anime is not about ping pong. So, Ping Pong the Animation follows the lives of players Makoto Tsukimoto, nicknamed Smile, and Yutaka Hoshino, nicknamed Peco, on their rise to stardom within the world of Japanese high school ping pong. While they both have an innate talent for the sport, in most instances they couldn't be more different. The aptly named Smile is reserved and rarely speaks, while Peco is outgoing and boastful. When they play ping pong, Smile utilizes a robotic, defensive playstyle, while Peco opts for a highly predictable offensive one. And when their skills are put to the test, Smile withers away, while Peco revels in the challenge. While they may be different, they have a strong bond formed by Peco introducing Smile to the world of ping pong at a young age. And so when the show starts, they're introduced to us as best friends who understand each other better than anyone else. What's interesting though is how quickly their characters start to change, beginning as soon as the first episode. Enter Wenge Kong, a highly skilled Chinese player who, after being kicked out of his ping pong club in China, drops down to compete in Japan. Because of this, Kong is built up to be a person that's bitter and not too fond of the Japanese. I think one of the strongest tools this anime uses to build up its characters is great dialogue. Most of the time when a different language is supposed to be spoken in anime, they'll just slap some Nihongo over it and hope that no one notices. I mean, just look at Vinland Saga. It's a great adaptation, but this is exactly what it does. These people aren't supposed to be able to understand each other because they're both speaking different European languages, but in reality, they're all just speaking Japanese. This is kinda impossible to avoid, but it breaks the immersion just enough for you to remember that these are made up people. However, in Ping Pong the Animation, both Kong and his coach are fully voiced in Chinese, which adds so much to their characters. Kong, who we established is bitter after having to leave China, will often make rude remarks towards the Japanese players. This causes his coach, who also acts as his translator, to phrase these remarks in much more polite terms to the Japanese. And Peco, upon learning that Kong only speaks Chinese, assigns him the nickname China and tries to speak all the Chinese he knows. Ni hao. Yeah, that's about the extent of my Chinese knowledge too. These are real ways that real people communicate, and so this expertly crafted dialogue effectively makes each character in the show feel three-dimensional. After recognizing his skill, Kong challenges Peco to a game of ping pong in hopes that he's found a formidable opponent. Going into their match, it had been years since Peco lost a game of ping pong due to his abundance of natural talent, and so when he's skunked by Kong in their first match, Peco is humiliated. He throws a massive fit and eventually quits ping pong, deciding that losing is no fun. Yeah, this may sound stupid, and it is, but think about the last time you were killed by some 10-year-old cranking 90s at the speed of light in Fortnite. Did you just sit there and accept it, typing GG into the chat bar, or did you shut off your console and chuck your controller at the wall? The characters in the show are imperfect. They're deeply flawed, they make irrational decisions, and they stumble with each new obstacle they face. But that's all a part of what makes them feel human. Kong, the fallen Chinese star now scraping his way back up the ranks in Japan. Kazuma, the #1 player whose life is solely devoted to being the best at ping pong. And Akuma, the untalented boy always chasing Peco and Smile's coattails. They all feel uncomfortably real, and are probably similar to someone that you know. Ping Pong the Animation carefully builds up all these fragile opposing characters' storylines and then clashes them together in intense one-on-one combat. During each match, the screen explodes with energy, the rapid movements of the players lighting the screen on fire. There are so many interesting animation techniques used in these matches. Sometimes we'll see the match from the ball's perspective, other times the characters will push each other off screen with their swings, and a lot of the times the show will use visuals that resemble moving manga panels. The whole show feels like a manga come to life, and this is due to its almost obnoxiously unique art style. Alright, I'm gonna come out and say it. I know you've all been thinking it. This show looks weird. Everything is a squiggly line, the characters squash and stretch to a comical degree, and everyone is ugly. Like for real, they did not have to do a comma this dirty, bro. Personally, I very much like this art style. I think it sets this show apart from others and allows for fluid animation. But I've gotta acknowledge the fact that not everyone is gonna think the same as me. Actually, a lot of people will probably hate it, and they're justified in that hate. I mean, yeah, sometimes the show can be an eyesore, and a lot of times I can't even tell if a scene was intended to look bad or if it's just poor animation. But what I would say is, even if you hate the art style, just give this show a couple of episodes. I don't think you'll regret it. There may be mixed opinions on the show's art style, but I can say for sure that there definitely aren't any on this soundtrack, because it, without a doubt, slaps. Ping Pong the Animation has an electrifying techno soundtrack that perfectly complements the pure hype being shown on screen. It steadily builds up tension for the viewer with each new point taken until a climax is reached and it bursts forward with the energy of a rampaging bull. If all you care about is hype, then with these visuals and this soundtrack, Ping Pong the Animation has got you covered. But obviously, that's only a small part of what this anime has to offer. In an individual sport such as ping pong, whether you win or lose is entirely up to you, and that's what separates this sports anime from most others. While other team-based sports anime explore the concepts of teamwork and chemistry, Ping Pong the Animation is able to explore other, more personal concepts. And what really allows for this is that realism that we talked about earlier. Everyone in this show feels like a real person, and so the lessons they learn feel real as well. When two characters face off against each other, there will always be a winner and a loser. And what's interesting about Ping Pong the Animation is that it exposes the cold, hard realities of both paths. Usually, winning may seem like a good thing, and it is for the most part, but what happens when you become so good that winning is expected? Kazuma, or Dragon, is Japan's #1 ping pong player, and he lives up to that name. He crushes everyone in his path and shows no remorse for those that lose. Winning means everything to Kazuma, and this was instilled within him at a young age by his father, who was also a top-ranked player. Because of this, Kazuma works himself to the bone, believing that his results directly equate to the amount of effort he puts into honing his body and skills. However, this need to win ends up taking a major toll on Kazuma. On the outside, everyone may see the champion and poster boy of ping pong, but what they don't see is Kazuma locking himself in the bathroom before each match, paralyzed at the thought that he might lose. Kazuma has pushed everyone away in his thirst for victory, and it leaves him lonely and isolated. Even still, there are those that want to be like Kazuma but can't. You can work as hard as you want, but in the end, if you don't have the talent, you'll never be the best. I'm sure you hear the phrase, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard all the time. But the thing is, in real life, most talented people do work hard. Talent doesn't always come to those who want it, and for many characters in this show, that is a soul-crushing realization. Smile is an extremely talented ping pong player, but he never really wanted this talent. He doesn't even enjoy playing ping pong, and he only plays because others want him to. Everyone knows Smile could be great, but he doesn't want to be. And so when his friend Peco quits, it leaves him lost and searching for the answer to the question, why do I play? This is a question that every character must ask themselves at some point during the series. Why play when you'll never be the best? Is it for fun? Because if it is, then why work so hard? Is it okay to settle for mediocrity? And if you do, then were all your efforts in vain? The development in this show comes from the gradual shift in how its characters would answer these questions over time. With each win and with each loss, they learn new lessons that contribute to this shifting mindset. By the end of the show, each character is completely different from the person they started as, for better or for worse. Ping Pong the Animation is not a show about ping pong. It's a show about people and how they respond to life's challenges. Ping pong is only a backdrop for the true lessons this anime strives to teach. It displays the unpleasant realities of competition, but it also shows that there's beauty in it. It's thought-provoking and teaches many uncomfortable lessons, but at the same time, it's heartwarming and a treat to watch. Ping Pong the Animation manages to achieve so much in just a mere 11 episodes. Everything about this show is unconventional, and that's what gives it its identity. Ping Pong the Animation is a show that everyone should watch, not only for the lessons it teaches, but also for the experience that it is. It's not a perfect show by any means, but as you watch it, you can't help but feel like you're watching art in motion, like you're watching a masterpiece.